Hello everybody, this is Cacti and Carnivores here, and today I'm going to be starting my Venus Flytrap seed log. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be planting these Venus Flytrap seeds I have. They're under this envelope. They're very small and most of them are crushed as they were shipped over the mail by some guy on the internet forums. And the automatic sorting machine just messed them all up. But there's still like 5 or so in there that are still good. And I don't really want a bunch of seeds anyways. I'm going to be planting these seeds and I'm going to be tracking their growth and development over the course of how long I'll be able to grow them. I've never successfully grown carnivorous plants from like nothing, from seeds to adult plants. Most of them die around like the seedling stage, but most of that was when I was really young and didn't really know what I was doing. But now I've got a bunch of tools and some supposed knowledge, so hopefully it'll be better. Now before we get into everything, I'm just going to explain what I'm basically doing here and what the materials I'm using are right now. So I will start over here. This is going to be a tag. I'll be writing the name of what they are. This is a little key I made. So that's sort of like the general like formula for writing a tag. It's pretty interesting, I guess, if you're into that. Next I have the seeds, of course. I have a potting container with saran wrap, and this is for just like keeping the humidity in. I'm going to also be using this outer thing to mix the soil, and I'll be washing that out, of course. Right here I have just a spray bottle just to mist them and get them moist. They are wetland plants, Venus flytraps, so they do like to be kept humid and moist to trigger germination. I got distilled water just for wetting the soil. I got peat. I rinsed this peat. It's the first time I've ever like rinsed a soil as vigorously as I did. Basically I poured distilled water into a big container and just threw a bunch of peat in there and kept mixing it and wringing it out, and then I put it in another bucket, and then I repeated it twice, so it was 2 times rinsed through. Some people do more, but that's as much as I'm bothered to do, and I don't really like wasting loads of distilled water, even though it is cheap. It just takes time to get from the store. Yeah, and then I have perlite, just to mix in, give it some aeration. Carnivorous plants love aeration in their soil. They need it, because peat's really dense. Anyways, yeah, so that's everything here, and let's get started. Alright, so the first basic step is to just get the soil ready and in the pot. And before we get into this, I just want to say, after looking at this pot, I think the soil's going to fall through the holes, the drainage holes, and get into the tray, which would be a bit of a pain. So to avoid that, I'm going to use a cut-up coffee filter and stuff that in the bottom of there to see if that works. So we're going to start by getting our soil. I'll move this out of the way. Just grab a good decent amount, just enough in volume to fill the pot. That's a little much. And get all the sticks out. Usually with peat there's always a little bit of debris because it's not entirely pure. So don't pack it down too much, just a little bit, enough to leave a solid ground for seeds. Alright, now once everything's all perfectly set up, we're going to dump that into here. Oh my god. There we go. And that's the amount of peat we'll need. We can break it up a little. And then we're going to add some of the perlite in the back here for some drainage. So I think that's going to be enough. I'm just going to mix it. The perlite here, it says it has just 100% perlite, so that's good because We don't want any fertilizer in here because that'll kill the Venus flytraps. They're not really a fan of the fertilizer. I'm going to put a little bit more. Okay, that is definitely enough right there. Might want to get some of that out. Yeah, so there. So soil's mixed. I apologize for the wind here. It is an insanely windy day. Well, at least it cleans the table off. Anyway, so I'm just gonna pot this up. I won't be using, I don't think I will be using all of this. It's pretty dense. Alright, so and get some of the perlite in the top. This is a bit of a delicate process. It's usually very messy and yeah, kind of imperfect. Sorry. Alright, I'm gonna just use some regular peat on the top. There we go, that's perfect. Just to avoid any of the perlite to get weird with the seeds. So I kind of overestimated how much I'd use, but I can easily save that for something else. Yeah, so step one is complete. We've got the pot set up and the soil's in. Alright, so now that we got the pot set up, I'm going to be doing the tag real quick. So the way it goes is genus, species, cultivar, and nickname. So I'm going to start with the genus, which is Dionaea. I'm just going to put a D there. Then the species is Muscipula. This is Latin if you're not aware. And there's no real cultivar, so I'm going to put typical seeds. Because if I double check, I'm pretty sure they're just typical. Let's see here. Typical 20 seeds harvested at that point. Yeah, I've had them in the fridge, so they haven't aged very much. So hopefully they should be fresh. So I'm gonna put the date. Let's planted. That's 4/22. 22, 19, and then we're going to leave a sprouted area, and that's going to be whenever. So when they sprout, I'm going to write when they do, so I can see how long it took them to sprout, and the time spaces, and yeah, everything. So this is written. I'm not going to stick this in here. I might actually leave this off to the side because it kind of fits awkwardly in the pot. Once this is in here, it kind of sticks above, so I'm going to just not let that happen. Yeah, so the name tag's written. Now let's go plant these seeds. Alright, we are inside. Yeah, the sun's coming in. Yeah, it's way better to plant seeds in here. So move this over the side. I got the pamphlet, a little baggie. I can let the paper go. This is going to be kind of difficult here. We have at around 1, 2, 3. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and the rest are like completely crushed into nothing. I would be more sad, but I'm perfectly okay with that. So, alright, so the first thing, just get one seed, just stick. It's going to be really pretty much impossible to see unless I hold my, you see that right there? I'm going to put that right, one right there. It's kind of tedious, very tedious. Alright, so it's somewhere on there. This is very hard to see, but yeah, it is on there. So that's one. I would have done this in a more efficient way, but there's only 7. So I believe I can do some different sort of things. There's a second one. It's really hard to see, especially with my camera. I won't lie, it's not the best quality. So there's the third one. Deep in the light there. Okay, so there's 3 seeds. And the fact that I've planted them in this sort of configuration, this one's kind of messed up. I don't know if this will make it. Alright, regardless, there's the 4th one. Let's see what else. We got 3 and 4 more. So I guess 8? Now that messed up one might have been one I didn't count earlier. So I got 3 and 1 right there. So they're basically just sticking to my finger. And I can just like place them onto the surface. Oh, that one fell. That was really scary. One more. There we go. And they should be perfect, ready for germination. Okay, so they're on there. Hold on. And I think one more. Yep, one more. Yeah, so this is a very awkward process, if you couldn't already tell. Okay, so let's check this one first. It is kind of a weird one too. Other than that, I'll place them right there. There we go. Nice and spaced. If you can see, which you probably can't, but there's, yeah, they are there. I think, what was it, 8 or 7 of them? I'm not sure. Hopefully I'll figure it out when I watch this over again. So I'm afraid to spray, because I don't want to blast them off the media. They seem to be good. Alright, I think that's enough. Yeah, so they are pretty moist. They are good and ready. I've already poured some distilled water in there. Yeah, so they should be good. I've had a lot of problems with humidity. Well, not humidity, but keeping like mold and stuff off of my plants. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking extra measures to keep algae and fungus from growing. Because in an enclosed environment like this, it can get very gross. So for that, I'm going to leave a corner up, and every so often, I'm going to be airing out this, airing out the container every once in a while. And keep things warm and ready. Yeah, and keep the moisture pretty low. So I'm going to set it up here. Okay, so it's right there. Nice and good. I'm going to take put it right there next to the seeds that have never germinated ever in like the 10 months. These were literally sown like last year. Yeah. But these should hopefully sow. They're fresh. Yeah, so this is the first episode of the seed log. I'll be coming back in when they germinate, or if anything interesting else happens in between those two things, and those 2 points. Yeah, and so that's everything. So let's see what comes in the future of keeping these seeds in there. Goodbye.